Accu-Stats Video Productions presents World Class 9 Ball. Once again, Chesapeake, Virginia plays host to a capacity crowd here at the U.S. Open Championships. I'm Bill Incardona, along with Bill Weenie Beenie Staton. Well, Bill, there are just two players left in the tournament. It started with 64 of the top players in the world. There are only two left.
And it's quite a surprise, too, Billy, that two players that are, well, not one of them, but one of them is quite a surprise. The two contestants, of course, is Johnny Archer, a wily veteran at 23, playing another, what he leaves and looks younger than Johnny. His name is Tom Kennedy from Lakeland, Florida, and it's his first trip to the center stage. And they came through a very tough field of 64 invited players and qualified players. There were no setups in this tournament, and so it should be a pretty exciting finals here.
Yes, definitely. This tournament always attracts the strongest fields, and this year was no different than the years in the past. And you mentioned that Tom Kennedy, yes, he's a lesser-known player, but nonetheless effective, at least not for this tournament. He defeated. As a matter of fact, you have his route to the finals in front of you, so why don't you just let the people here at Accu-Stats know exactly what he did to arrive.
Well, this is the field that he had to defeat in order to get to this position. He defeated C. Coker in his first match, which is not a household name, but his second match was against Jimmy Fusco from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Pretty fair player. Jimmy Rempe, an international King James Rempe, he defeated him. He defeated Mike LeBron, and then Jose Perica from the Manila, Philippines, and none other than Johnny Archer. He defeated decisively like 13-7 in his match. And so now here is a rematch of Kennedy versus Archer, whom he defeated earlier, and it's a race to 9 in this match for television to make it come out right. So you can hear the announcer, Pat Fleming, introducing the players, and they're taking their fouls.
Well, this is a little different circumstances now. I mean, when they first met yesterday, I think it was, Johnny Archer and Tom Kennedy, there wasn't any television cameras out there. You know, there wasn't just one single table with television lights shining on that table. You know, it was a totally different atmosphere. Now, this is something totally new to Tom Kennedy. Well, can he or can he not endure this and go on to defeat Johnny Archer, or is he going to have a problem with the pressures?
Well, I'll tell you, Tom Kennedy is a unique person. He believes in the Lord. He has some strength that he can call on, and he is a crowd favorite, as you can hear by the roar of the crowd. And he is just a delightful, bright-eyed young man, and I think he's going to stand up pretty good. You know, if I had to choose who's going to win, of course I would pick Archer with his record. But this could be a surprise here.
Okay, now this is the third match of the day on this black gold crown table. This is not the same table these two did battle on last night. This is a new table with a brand new cloth. And it certainly sheds a different light on this situation, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. The last match that was played on this table was between Johnny Archer and Jose Perica. And in that match, during that match, Johnny Archer's break was extremely effective. Extremely effective. And he then strung 3 or 4 consecutive racks on Perica. Now, I look for the same thing to happen here, because when they matched up the other night, his break wasn't working. The race was to 13, and he didn't put 2 racks together. I don't think we're going to see the same type of play here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, in 9-ball, of course, the break is the most important part. If you can make a ball on the break and be able to see the 1 ball from the break, it just makes you in the driver's seat. You're on the offense, and it looks like Johnny Archer has won the lag at the first game here, and once again, I'll say it's a race to 9. This is the finals of the U.S. Open Championships in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's the 17th annual U.S. Open that has been held here in Chesapeake and Norfolk, Virginia.
Needless to say, but I will say it, it's Barry Berman's Q-Master Billiards and Brunswick Billiards are co-sponsors of this event. And what more can you say about Barry Berman? Then he's an outstanding man, and everyone really appreciates, you know, his efforts in this tournament each and every year. In the meantime, Johnny won the lag, like you mentioned, and I think that the winner of the lag, winning the lag, is a very, very important, you know, a factor. I think it's going to be a big factor in the outcome of this match. Well, immediately, you know, proves wrong, because he didn't pocket a ball on the break.
Now, this is the thing. Had Johnny made a ball on the break there, he would have a very good chance of running these balls because he's straight in on the one ball there. Now, it's imperative that Tom Kennedy gets off to a pretty fast start. He's got a pretty good layout here. And the 3 ball seems to be the only trouble ball there, if I'm not correct. I think I'm correct with that one on the lower left-hand side. He needs to get on this ball.
And I don't really see much of a route to the 3. No, he brushed the 4, and he looks like he came out in perfect line for the 3.
Uh-oh, there's the first mistake.
You know, he brushed the 4 off of the 2, which gave him a great opportunity to run the balls because he found himself in perfect line on the 3. And then he made a rookie error there by, placing the cue ball or positioning the cue ball behind the 9. But he was quite fortunate there.
Yes, he made a very bad error going from the 3 to the 4. He had a perfect opportunity. The new cloth that you mentioned earlier, I think, was played the part in that the cloth is a little bit slick. It slides a little bit, and the cue ball didn't grab the cushion like they ordinarily would on a more used cloth. Therefore, he did not hit the 9 and knock it out of the way so he'd have a shot. Now, Johnny Archer just playing into the side rail, trying to knock that ball down here. Look at the roll that he is getting.
Kennedy's going to go back of the 4. Cue ball should travel somewhere in the vicinity or the neighborhood of the 5, possibly after contacting the 4. Well, he hit too deeply behind the 4, and it went the opposite way.
He left a pretty tough shot, but Johnny is a great player, and Johnny Archer just surprises me how well he stands up. He's from Metter, Georgia. He's 23 years old, and out here in the front of this big crowd here in Chesapeake, Virginia, and the lights and the camera and the TV cameras, and he just, look how well he hit that ball.
Well, he's the #1 player in the world, and to have that, ranking certainly is a boost in confidence for itself. He really believes in himself. He's been playing on the tour now for about 6 years, and he's gone through tough times to get where he's at today, and he's certainly proud of it, and he's playing well.
Now, this is a game that Tom Kennedy should have won. He had a perfect opportunity to win the first game, and he actually gave this game to Johnny, although Johnny earned it with a very good safety. And these two should just be routine.
But you are totally correct with your assessment that he actually gave this game to Johnny. See, Johnny earned it with the safety, but he should not have been at the table,
yes,
with an opportunity to steal it away from Kennedy. Game #1 is going to go to Johnny, and now he'll take an early 1-0 lead in the match.
Go ahead, Billy.
He failed to pocket a ball the first time he broke the balls. I think he'll stay in the same position on the table and try it one more time. If he comes up dry again, then I look for him to switch.
What Billy means by that is that sometimes you search for what we call the sweet spot in breaking the balls. Now, Johnny's breaking them from the left-hand side near the rail, and if you will watch the balls, it's called a control break. He will try to pocket the 1 ball, the yellow ball, in the right-hand side pocket. Sometimes when it does not go, it even goes across toward the corner and maybe goes in the opposite corner pocket, which is right under where he's breaking. And if it doesn't go, or if it doesn't go in either, he can maybe pocket another ball, and he has the cue ball down here with the 1 ball down here at this pocket. Watch it come right over here at this pocket.
Okay, that time
now there's what you call a perfect break.
That time he made the wing ball. That's the corner ball. That was the ball he was making with some regularity against Perica. And once again, it goes right in, off of the corner, into the corner pocket. Okay, now he'll play position possibly for the 2-8 combination. The 3's positioned in front of the upper right-hand corner.
Has to be a little careful with this, that he doesn't hit it too easily, and the 2 ball will go over and just, let's see where he hits it. He was trying to cheat. He got very lucky with this. He was trying to keep the 2 ball there where it didn't roll over on the rail. He wanted to get over here. It was a very easy shot, and he should have made it, but he was more worried about getting position.
From where the cue ball was, I thought that he had a natural angle to drift to the bottom cushion with the cue ball.
Look at that shot. Now, that was a little bit of luck there, Billy, but this young man deserves a... You got to get a few breaks in order to get to this position somewhere along the way, to have defeated the players. This is what you call a good roll here that Tom Kennedy got to.
But a lot of good things can happen for Johnny here. The 8 ball is very close to the corner pocket. If Johnny's able to hit the 2, he's going to get some action. Well, he was unable to strike the 2. Now Tom Kennedy steps to the table with an opportunity to tie up the match. So far, Tom Kennedy he looks a bit unsettled because he definitely should have hit the 2 ball bank a lot better than what he did. And then when he had his first attempt in rack number 1, you know, he got quite fortunate when he brushed the 4 for position on the 3, and he still wasn't able to take advantage of the good roll. Now he's back at the table in game number 2, and the balls are spread very nicely on the table. And he really shouldn't have an excuse this time because the balls are really laying very nicely.
He's a little tight. If you notice that one, he wanted to come back just a little bit further. He's okay, though, but he'll just have to shoot it slowly. He'll just slide this ball into the corner pocket, bringing the cue ball back out near the middle of the table. That's too hard. He's just a little bit off. I mean, it's not a hard shot, but at this stage under the lights, you cannot hear a pin drop.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling the pressure. He's definitely feeling the pressure.
You see that one wobble in?
It's affecting his shot-making ability, and it's also affecting his speed right now. Whether or not he'll relax and get into the game remains to be seen, but at the early stages of the game, it's quite obvious, at least to me, that he's feeling the pressures.
Should he make this ball? If you notice, he struggled to get this frame from a very easy position. The crowd is really into it. You can see what an enthusiastic, knowledgeable crowd there is here. They have adopted this young man from Lakeland, Florida this week. He has had some just absolutely fantastic applause from the audiences.
Tom Kennedy doesn't have the power in his break that Johnny Archer has naturally, but he has been very productive throughout the entire week with his break.
You know, with these two players, Bill, it shows you don't have to be big in order or athletic to play this game, although you need to be in good shape physically. But look at Tom Kennedy. I dare say he doesn't weigh over 120 pounds, and Johnny Archer's a lot taller, weighs about 145. He's breaking from the same spot Johnny did. Let's see if the 1 ball goes toward the side pocket. There it goes. It went right in. Now if he can come up with a shot on the 2.
And which he has. Now the 2 ball is in front. No, the 2 ball is to the left of the foot spot, matter of fact. That's the 4 ball in front of the upper right-hand corner. The 3 and 8 are positioned to the right of the table on the head string part of the table to the right.
All he has to do is just make this ball. Just cinch this ball. Not real easy. He's up above that. He came with it pretty good. Now, if he can control this red ball, the 3 ball, after he pockets the 8 ball here, just leave it, just let it take the 8 ball's place. He's shooting it with a little bit of authority here. Or maybe he's just scooping it.
He may be playing both balls there.
He controlled it, yes. I was a little surprised he shot it like that. Were you not, Billy?
I thought that he should have played both balls and draw the cue ball toward the 4. Drew the cue ball toward the 4 because it's awfully hard sometimes to control the object ball, the 3 ball, when you're that great of a distance from it. Yeah. So therefore, I think he would fare better if you would try to play both balls when you're confronted with that type of a situation. Particularly if the 4 is in front of the pocket, all you need to do is draw back a little bit, and you're there.
He's just going to roll this in there with a little inside English and bring the cue ball back up about to the side pocket. He's gone a little far, but he's okay, but he didn't want to be quite that far. He's got to make this ball and come all the way back down here for the green ball that you see down there to his left. That was not very good. He did not intend to hit the 9 ball there. He is struggling.
He doesn't have the soft touch that sometimes it's really essential that he shoots shots with it, and he doesn't have it yet.
This could be. He looks like he's banking this ball. Wow! What a shot! That shot was badly needed by him. Listen to that crowd reaction for Tom Kennedy, who gets out. It wasn't real pretty, but he made it out, and he now takes 2-1 lead after game number 3.
Kennedy 2, Archer 1.
I think that Johnny's not really accustomed or used to the crowd favoring his opponent, since he's been the popular player in mostly all of the matches that he's been playing in, and maybe this is a little intimidating, for him to be the underdog, in the sense that the crowd is favoring his opponent, the relatively unknown player.
I don't know. Johnny Archer has an awful lot of inner strength that he draws upon to, be a winner. And the things that he has won the last couple of years is just amazing. I'll fill you in while there's a little break in the action here. He won. I was in Sweden when he won the Q-Poland Cup in Borlänge, Sweden, just recently. And also, he won the World's 9-Ball Championship, which is sponsored by the WPA, which is the World Pool Association, in Taipei, Taiwan. He won the LA Open this year. He won the Sands Regent last year. He won the last call for 9-ball at the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he defeated 320-player field in St. Charles, Illinois, earlier this spring, the International 9-Ball Championship. So he has won more than he's. So that's why he's ranked number 1. So I'm sure you're going to. What a shot that was. Now, you need a few rolls. He's had a couple of rolls. This is the second one that could have gotten tough, but he made the 1-ball, which was the ideal thing you're trying to do, is make the ball, and then the next thing is to get position. Now, there's a bad mistake he made.
He's doing he's making some bad errors on simple positions. And I don't see how he's getting away with it, though.
He's getting away with it. He has the lead. It's hard to believe that he is in the lead in this match. Well, the last game, he shot his way out of it. I don't know what he's going to. I think he's going to try to kick safe. No, he tried to make the ball. But he controlled the cue ball. Now, you see, that's a tremendous safety there that he has. Johnny has no shot at making this ball, I would say, but he has a pretty good chance of playing safely.
And Johnny can put him behind the 5-6. I can see that he can do that for certain. But it's not going to be easy. But there is a spot for him to hide.
Yes, he'll just try to hit this easy, but he didn't want to run into that ball.
He hit the 3-ball too thickly.
That's right.
He hasn't been playing this well in this match, because if you notice, the 2-8 or the 3-8 combination that he missed in the lower right-hand corner was very makeable. I'm surprised that he missed it, and he missed it badly also.
And that let Tommy off the hook. He would have taken a 2-0 lead at that point. And so, fortunately, Tommy was able to get away with he didn't have a very good safety, and he just flammed at the ball. Look at here, he's coming with another bank.
Well, apparently he likes the bank.
I don't think he likes to. It was out of necessity. And now he's getting in position here to take a 3-1 lead. If he can pocket these last 4 remaining balls. Even that shot, I thought, was not well thought of or not well executed.
Well, he could have hit it a little softer with a high ball. That way, the cue ball would have been off the cushion a little farther than it is, and the 6-ball wouldn't have traveled as far.
He's going to come with a pretty good shot right here. He pocketed right dead center. And the position, how about that? I'll tell you, aren't you a little surprised he's standing up real well there? He's not been pretty, but he's effective.
He's certainly deliberate on the line. He takes his time. You know, he does take his time when he shoots.
Tell you a little bit about Tom Kennedy. For those of you who's not look at him, the cameras.
He is looking at the cameras.
He is quite a showman. He's 27 years old. He's from Lakeland, Florida, of course. And he's been the Florida State champion for the last 3 years. He's ranked 31st on the MPBA, which is the Men's Professional Billiard Association Tour. And he says his biggest thrill in pool has been defeating Efren Reyes from Manila, Philippines. Anybody that beats him, you know that's
certainly
a
has
right?
a chance in any match, believe me. I tell you, he's under a lot of pressure right now. Under a lot of pressure.
Yes, if you've never been out in the arena like this with all eyes on you, one table, television cameras going, lots of fans, lots of lights, it's tough to play.
The 2 ball's going to find its way to the pocket.
Look out, cue ball.
I do believe he can see the 1 and pocket it. If he can see the 1 ball, I believe he can pocket it there. And the 3 ball is actually near the upper left-hand corner pocket, adjacent to the foot spot.
You know, if you noticed, his break then was not a very solid break. And somewhere along the line, if Johnny ever gets back to the table with the break and it starts working, you know, he's going to be tough to beat. He's going to just let this cue ball go here.
He's going to go into the 9.
Well, even though he did not get the position he wanted, he can really...
He's going to put him behind the 7.
He can put him right behind that 7
Or the 9
ball.
he can put him behind, actually. But the 7 is probably... The 7's easier to place the cue ball behind. He can do that about 100% of the time.
Yes.
The 9 maybe only about
Well, now
90.
he's leading 3-1, and he's got Johnny behind the, what you call, the 7 ball. He's not quite behind the 8 ball,
But behind the 9 would have been much more effective. He's left Johnny a rail to hit here. Behind the 9, he would have really locked him up. Well, he's going to do it again. And this time it's going to be tougher.
The crowd is really applauding that shot. He got a little unlucky not to be able to see the next object ball. His next object ball is the one on the left-hand side of your screen near the side pocket. It's a 5 ball.
Well, it's possible that he could jump over the 7. You know, he has a jump cue, and I believe this
I think
shot
he's
is
just
jumping.
going to make sure that he hits this. He's got to be careful he doesn't scratch in his corner now. Oh, he went on the short side.
You know, I was surprised he didn't opt to jump over the 7.
Well, I think the side pocket was there, and he didn't want to try to jump over it. He was maybe
possible.
scratching the side. I think he did not forget that move. Here he's giving Tom Kennedy an opening in this match. Take a pretty commanding lead of 4-1 if he can pocket the remaining 4 balls on the table here.
And you better watch out. This kid's liable to, settle down. And if he starts to settle down, he could really be dangerous.
All I can tell you is he has played extremely well this week. And, he was a little rough in getting out a little ragged the first couple of frames. But notice he's getting a little better control of this cue ball. There he draws it back very nicely. And I'm going to concede this one to him. How about you, Billy?
Yeah. Well, that's rack number 5, and it goes Kennedy's way as he extends his lead in the match 4-1.
The score, Kennedy 4, Archer 1.
And as we're panning around, there's Franziska Stark there, I believe, in the center of your screen. She's from Germany. She's the current
world champion.
Ladies champion right here from Germany. Very attractive young lady.
And that's Pat Fleming.
Our producer of Accu-Stats, and wears many hats, the tournament director. I don't know exactly what Franziska is telling Pat, but she may be speaking to him in German. You know, that's one thing we should mention to the
from
fans.
Canada to Pat's right. Go ahead.
that we have really an international feel here. We have a contestant from Australia, 2 from the Philippines, several from Germany, 1 from Sweden, several Canadians, our friends up north, and where else? Mexico, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we have them from quite a few different countries there, and that's what I mentioned earlier, that the U.S. Open certainly attracts players from all parts of the world. Very strong field.
You know,
there.
to come here to Chesapeake, Virginia, it's a tribute to Barry Bierman, which is our host here, that has, which I led him astray. Did you know that? About 18 years ago, he came to my place in Virginia, and he saw me hosting a tournament, and he said, I want to do that. He came back to Norfolk, Virginia, opened up Q-Master Billiards, and began the U.S. Open a few years later. And here he is, got one of the most prestigious tournaments going now in all the pocket pool.
Okay, once again, Kennedy pockets the ball on the right, but this time he has a very simple shot for the 1 in the lower left-hand corner pocket. Now he's looking at the 2, which is resting against the 5, and he wants to find out if, in fact, it will pass the 5 into the side pocket. The 3 is positioned in front of the upper right-hand corner.
Apparently the ball will either go in the side, or he's got it where he can make it in the corner, I believe. Boy, he has laid that one down.
Well, if it goes in the
side, yes.
Yeah, he's ideally positioned not only to pocket it in the side, but to attain a nice shot on the 3. All he has to do is draw the ball.
He's going to draw the ball a few inches out to his right, yes, where he'll have the 3. 3 being the red ball down in the right-hand corner pocket. And he's going to come straight up, maybe straight back up to the center of the table. Good. Yes, that's exactly what he chose. He'll pocket the 4 ball up here in the left-hand corner pocket, bringing the cue ball back about halfway to the side pocket. And his next ball would be the orange ball just to the right of his hand there, his bridge hand.
Now he's found the rhythm he enjoys playing, and now he's been at the table about every rack, pocketing 85% of the balls that have been pocketed in this match. He's pocketed them, and now he's starting to relax. In a relatively short race to 9, you know, it's awfully important for you to be relaxed at the table. Tom Kennedy not only is starting to become relaxed at the table, but he's been able to amass quite a lead up until this point.
Well, I'll tell you, one way to neutralize Johnny Archer's game in his break, his tremendous break, is not let him break him. And this is what Tom Kennedy is doing at this point. And he got a couple of breaks there earlier, and now he's taking advantage of it. And he ran that rack back. And at the end of the 6th game, Tom Kennedy now leads 5 games to 1. I mean, they are putting a lot of pressure on this man. They've got cameras all over him, right in his face, as you can see in the crowd.
Kennedy 5, Archer 1.
The gentleman there sitting there next to talking to the lady that's sitting on the floor there is Mike Panazzo. He writes for the Billiards Digest. And that's Francine Massey right behind the cameraman there. And she is Mike Massey's lovely wife, and she comes up with some beautiful photography of these players.
Yeah, and she takes photography. She takes pictures for Pool and Billiard magazine. Yes. One on the side.
Cue ball. Well, he made the 1 in the side, but he doesn't have a shot at the 2 ball. But I think he's got a fair chance of possibly playing a pretty good safety here.
The 2-7 billiard might even be available. It looks like it's pretty close.
He looks like he's playing a 2-rail safety with the 2 going all the way down the table. And there's a good execution there. I'll tell you, Johnny hasn't had much to shoot at lately, has he? He's been kicking.
He should hit the 2 here. He would like to hit it off of the bottom cushion.
Which he did.
And then, actually, he wanted to go a little deeper into the cushion. He's left Tom another shot, and a very good shot, not only to pocket the 2, but to play excellent shape for the 3. He doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. And the 3 is positioned very nicely to drop nicely on the 4. So therefore,
is the 4 on the side rail there on the right-hand side frozen to the rail? Okay. He needs to get just a little bit of an angle on it. Well, he could even get straight in. Look out. Now he'll pocket this ball and draw back about a foot beyond where he is right now. Let's see if he does that. At least back down halfway to the corner pocket. It's just about where he's got it. He needed to come back a little bit more, but he can just go 3 rails with this ball, and he should be straight in on the 6 in the bottom left-hand corner pocket. 1 rail, 2 rails, and 3 rails. Did that beautifully, Billy.
Oh, he looks like he's well in this game now.
I'll tell you, he's got a lot of firepower for a little guy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly
I
does.
mean, that shot there, he didn't just put it in there. He stuffed it in there. And he'll just pocket this ball up in this corner pocket here. And chalk there kind of distracted him a little bit. He'll draw the cue ball into the rail and all the way back about, well, maybe all the way back to the end rail. He's making sure he doesn't foul the 9 ball as he's leaning over.
Well, game number 7 goes to the Kennedy, and now he's leading the match by 5 games, with the score being 6 games to 1 in favor, actually, of Tom Kennedy.
Archer 1.
I still just am amazed how much he has captured this audience. They just love him. They've adopted him this week, and they're really rooting for him. And for him to come out here and play, he was a little rough there in a couple of games, but the last few games he has not missed a ball.
He certainly has settled down.
He's settled down, and I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be in Johnny Archer's shoes. He better get a few breaks here. If Tom continues to make balls on the break and gets a shot, I think it's going to be a long evening for Johnny.
Well, Johnny remembers last year when he had Buddy Hall 7 games to 1, only to see Buddy Hall come back and defeat him 9 games to 7. So he realizes that it's possible to come back from such a deficit. This time he would like to turn the tables, if he's given an opportunity.
Uh-oh. When I say that, look at it. You said he didn't have a very good break. He only made,
2 balls.
2 balls on the break, and he's straight in on the 2 ball. But if you notice that control break, he's making the 1 ball either go in the side or hit near the side pocket and come up to this lower left-hand corner pocket. He'll just pocket this 2 and let the cue ball come up the table about 2 feet. He wants to come a little further than that. He would have liked to have been up a little more. He's got a possibility. What do you think, a combination there, Billy?
I don't know, Beanie. I don't know if he'll play the combination. He may play the combination, but you have to be at the table to get a feel and determine what is best for you at the time. The combination, he's
looking at
now.
the combination because he can play a little bit of a safety. Oh, he missed it badly. But he's playing a safety at the same time.
Johnny steps to the table and doesn't have anything easy to look at. It was a good 6 or 7 feet from the 3 ball, and he has to back cut it into the lower right-hand corner pocket. The cue ball will then go toward the area of the 5 and also the lower left-hand corner pocket. The 4 ball is positioned almost in front of the upper left-hand corner. And with the 7 and 9 surrounding it, which makes it more difficult to attain a good, nice.
You know, he's
angle.
trying to bank this ball into one of those, well, into that ball. That's what he was trying to do. But he hit it a little badly. He got very fortunate here where he left it. However, Tom can play a great safety here. He may be trying to way I look at it. He's trying to put him behind the 9-ball.
Right. Well, I don't agree with that.
Ooh.
I thought he should have tried to put him behind the 4 and 7.
I agree. He got away. He got away with this. The reason I say that, even if Johnny should happen to get lucky and pocket this 3-ball, he's got to get around on that 4-ball that's out of sight right now. That's over on the left-hand side of the pocket. I think he can hit this ball, but I would not want this shot from that position.
He may try to thin the 3-ball and go around the 5. He wasn't able to get around the 5. And the defense of Johnny, he really hasn't had much to work with.
He has had nothing to shoot at.
No, and Kennedy was quite fortunate after playing the safety behind the 9, which we both agree it was ill-advised safety. We thought the other one was much more simple to execute and probably more effective as far as in terms of getting your opponent there more often. And that was a great shot, by the way.
It certainly was. Now, even if this ball does not fit down there, he can play a safety. You think he's playing a safety, Billy?
Yeah, it looks like he's playing safe.
Yes. Now, how would you like to be looking at shots like this all the time? For the last, I don't know, Johnny's been behind the 7-ball, behind the 8-ball, behind just about everything, and has not been able to get started. Johnny needs a break, like kicking at this ball, making it, and winning this game. If he doesn't, I think this match is going to go. Everything's going Kennedy's way at this point. He almost made it, but now you see when you're kicking, if you don't make something, you're subject to leave it just like that.
Well, that seems to be the pattern this match has taken. Kennedy playing well. And when he needs a roll, he gets one. Johnny really hasn't done much of anything offensively. He really hasn't had the opportunities. Kennedy has kept him totally off balance with his excellent safety play.
You may have heard Kennedy say yes. By making that ball, the other 3 balls are just almost automatic.
When was the last time that you recall a relatively unknown player not only coming to a major championship, a major tournament and winning the championship, but a televised event?
I cannot remember one. The closest I can remember is last year's event. I know Dennis Hatch is not, he's much more well-known than Tom Kennedy, but he was really a youngster, one of the young new breed in the pool. Nice-looking young man from up in New York. And he came here and he played in the finals and really had a good opportunity to win. He ended up only getting beat 9-8 by Buddy Hall, and had he made a ball on the break. But that's the last time I can remember a rookie coming. And if you notice, he has pocketed the ball. He's got this 1 ball up here with the cue ball in the middle of the table. And if that continues, here's Johnny talking to himself.
Well, Johnny really, he's totally frustrated. He hasn't been able to win a televised event, a championship match in a televised event. And that seems to be a hurdle that he has yet been able to accomplish or to get over. And he thought perhaps this was the time, He felt that he had a fairly easy opportunity in comparison with the other players that he played, such as Buddy Hall and Jose Perica and Nick Varner. He felt that Tom Kennedy was a lesser player than the champions that he failed to win tournaments against on television. And he felt that this was his time to do it. And just like it's not in the stars for some reason, it's not supposed to happen, at least not yet.
There. I mean, these balls just seem to be going in. Now, that one was a little bit questionable, as you can see.
Well, he hit it with good pocket speed,
Yeah.
and that's primarily the reason why it did find the bottom of the pocket.
And Tom Kennedy wins game number 9 and now takes a commanding 8-1 lead, and he is on the hill. One more game, and he is the U.S. Open champion. You know, this match...
It seems quite inevitable that he's going to go on to win the championship. I'm just curious to find out how he responds after he sinks match ball, what he does, what the cameramen do. That's going to be a sight that I'm interested in seeing exactly what does happen.
It is going to be a delightful sight to see. It really is. I feel sorry for Johnny that he's not winning this, but I am also happy for Tom Kennedy. It's his first, I guess, center stage and at a U.S. Open televised event. Great thing. This they can never take away from him. You know, all the distractions. He's standing there. He is ready to go, but they're waiting for the cameras to get set. The announcers for ESPN, who is also televising this match. And now they have turned him loose. If he can make this one ball and not get behind the 3 ball is his next object ball, which is closest to the right upper right-hand corner pocket. And if he can make this and not get behind the 7 ball there, this strike should be fairly routine. He doesn't want to get straight in on the 3 ball. Just pocket this ball. A hard shot.
He'll more or less roll it softly. That'll keep him on top of the 7.
Yes.
Well, he didn't. He tried to hit it with some speed.
Well, this is the best shot Johnny's had in about the last 7 games. And that's not a real easy one. He's near the rail. He's got to draw the ball. And his next object ball is the one on the rail there near the chalk that he just placed out on the table.
Trailing 8-1 and feeling probably fairly frustrated for what has happened.
Boy, he passed the test right there.
Yeah, it was surprising that he was able to come up with a shot and hit it as cleanly as he did.
He'll just pocket this and go back down. No favoring the right-hand side of the table, staying above the 5, so he can shoot the orange ball into the left-hand corner pocket. Probably just drawing the cue ball or either just letting it roll down for the 6. He doesn't want to get straight in. But he's got to come all the way back down the table here. He is going to follow this, right?
And he has
Billy?
to be careful with this shot. He had a much better angle than I suspected he had.
He would have liked to have come up a couple more inches, but he'll just slow roll this ball. Lucky here. That's uncharacteristic of Johnny Archer there.
Well, you know, he was quite dejected after watching the onslaught that Kennedy had put on him. You know, and maybe he just didn't have his heart into it. But
that was
what
a
can you
lack
say?
of
You know, Johnny Archer's a
concentration or
great
something.
champion. He's won 3 or 4 major titles already this year, including the World Championship. It just wasn't supposed to be. It's in the stars. That's all there is to it. It's in the stars. We'll find out exactly what happens to Tom Kennedy in the future. You know, we'll see if he's able to sustain this type of play on the professional tour. But in the meantime, he is the U.S. Open champion.
He is now, Billy. I'll tell you, this crowd is going crazy here for Tom Kennedy. Look at the camaraderie among the players. Johnny Archer not only shakes his hands, but it gives him a big hug. Listen to that standing ovation crowd, and the cameras around. Look how happy Tom Kennedy is. He has one of the greatest smiles you'll ever find on a young man. The crowd is just hollering for Tom Kennedy. You think that didn't happen? There's Ralph Harrelson right behind him from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, sitting down there. A friend of mine. Right there is Ralph Harrelson, right directly behind him.
Great match. Great match. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't leave for a few minutes. Please stay. We want to do a formal presentation, which will be aired on ESPN. Please stay for a few minutes, please.
The picture speaks for itself, doesn't it, Billy? There's our producer and tournament director, Pat Fleming, there, giving condolences to Johnny Archer. And Johnny's explaining about probably the rack. I don't know, but he was a little unhappy with
Well, Johnny right now is in a coma. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to think. He doesn't know what happened to him. 9-1, he really didn't have much of a chance, not many opportunities at all. On the other hand, Tom Kennedy, he's just blessed. And by the way, he played extremely well to get where he got to.
After the first 3 games that he played, he was a little shaky. From then on, he made only about 1 mistake. And that's hard to beat.
Oh, it certainly is. It certainly is. But, he has a lot of inner strength in him also, Tom Kennedy.
And there are tournament, not only our host, our producer, Barry Berman, has given Johnny Archer his runner-up trophy. A picture of the United States with a pool player protruding out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And I cannot quite read the inscription on it, but I'm sure it will be something he will treasure for a long time, although he would like to have the first placement.
That's his second runner-up black. Hold on 1 second, everyone. Thank you.
While there is a pause in the action, I got to tell you something that Johnny Archer did last year. In Cleveland, Ohio, they had a 9-ball championship and a straight pool championship. And Johnny Archer, they were supposed to have the winner of the straight pool and the winner of the 9-ball play 10-ball in the playoffs. And Johnny Archer won them both. He won the 9-ball and the straight pool. He won, the 9-ball and the
Straight pool.
Straight pool. Right. Then they had a playoff, and he won that also. He defeated Nick Varney.
But the most remarkable part of the story is that Johnny Archer had never played a game of straight pool in his life prior to going to that tournament.
Well, Nick Varney, whom he beat in the finals, was playing him, practicing before the tournament, was playing Johnny 150 to 75 the week before. And Johnny turned around and took the knowledge that he got from Nick Varney, which these guys share a lot of their secrets, and beat and ran out 149 and out on Nick. The crowd wanted him to continue running, and he ran 201 balls.
That's
in
really
his first ever straight pool tournament. And 2 weeks ago, he played in the New York and the U.S. Open Straight Pool Championship, and he ran 150 and out up there unfinished. Here is Tom Kennedy still celebrating his victory here. They're getting ready to make the presentation. Look, you're talking about a happy camper. He is one happy camper. He is signing autographs. This crowd is still just sitting here enjoying this moment with him.
It was definitely a great accomplishment for a relatively unknown player, not only to come and win the U.S. Open, but to do it under the ESPN cameras. And it's certainly an achievement which you'll never forget, and neither were any of the people here in attendance tonight, that's for sure.
And not only that, Billy, they cannot ever take it away from him, and he will be in the record books forever.
And not only that, this will be talked about for many years after he's gone, God bless him when that happens. But for many years after he's gone, they're going to talk about the young fellow, the relatively unknown young fellow from Lakeland, Florida, that came up to Chesapeake, Virginia and won the U.S. Open Championships from all the best players. in the world.
They had all the great players here. Not only was this country represented, but there's about another 8 or 9 other countries represented here. And so it's just something they cannot take away from it. That in your picture right now is Jim Bakula, the president of Brunswick, who furnished all the tournament tables this week. And he will probably do the presentation for Tom Kennedy for ESPN. Yes, we have just been reminded that someone else that was a complete unknown came to Reds in Houston, Texas, and he came from another planet. There was a guy named Cesar Morales. That was his nom de plume, that he came from the Philippines. It was none other than Efren Reyes, and he won the tournament the first time they had ever seen him. That is something that will be talked about for many years, right,
But
Billy?
there's quite a difference between Efren Reyes and Tom Kennedy. Efren Reyes is a natural player. He's a genius, and there's no question in anyone's mind that's ever watched Efren Reyes play that he's a true champion. Tom Kennedy seems to have to work hard at the table to get what he gets. So therefore, he deserved this win. He had to work for it, and he worked hard at the table. And and in my opinion, he's just not a natural player. If you watch him out there, his style and everything else suggests that he's not a natural player. He's a hard-working player that has a lot of faith in himself, and he has a lot of inner strength. And that's primarily the reason why he's where he's at today.
You know, I had just read one of the billiard publications called the Billiard News, and his picture was in it just recently where he had won a pretty good-sized tournament against a pretty good field in Florida. And, you know, if you can win there, he brought that good play into this tournament, and it certainly wasn't an easy road. He was not seeded in this tournament, and, you know, when you're not seeded, you're going to end up having to play all those seeded players for the last 4 or 5 matches that you play. And this was no fluke. He defeated Johnny Archer twice, and all the other players that I mentioned earlier, Jose Perica and many others. This is Barry Bierman that is making the presentation.
Tom Kennedy, a well-deserved and an undefeated tournament. His plaque for the 1992 U.S. Open and a check for $15,000.
I just have to laugh watching him.
Tom is going to besides just Tom is going to talk to you for a minute too. Okay? Can you talk? Have you come down yet?
I'd just like to thank the Lord, number one. You know that already. The Lord is great. And thank you for the Brunswick pool tables. They're great. And it was a great tournament. Johnny had chances he should have won. Yesterday's match. Oh, the best. He's the best. We used to play Miss Pac-Man when we were 15. He's funny, but he's coming along real good. He's a great player. He plays! Johnny Archer, world champion. Well, the Lord gets all the credit here, but I just feel so relaxed and so peaceful. Everybody's been so great and so loving and so kind. I can't, words can't explain this. Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! Barry's been one of the best friends. I haven't known him very long, but he's been great. Now I know him personally. Pat Fleming has been real good. And I appreciate the Brunswick tables, especially. They're real good playing tables. The crowd goes
There's a picture of Buddy Hall in the blue shirt there.
Thank you,
He's
everybody, really. You've been a great support, and you pulled me through this tournament. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to try to make it to a couple more of these tournaments. I might just retire after this one. So thank you, everybody. Thank the Lord, and here's Barry. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just sitting. I'm sitting here mesmerized.
I am too, Billy.
You know,
but the crowd is all just still sitting there, and not many of them have left.
Oh, well, it's just, I guess it's wonderful to think that everything's great and everyone plays great and everything's number one and the best. And I don't know, it's just such a fresh breath of air here.
Yes, it is. Oh, this is going to be a demonstration that all you people will really enjoy. You watch what this guy does with these balls. What does he call this? Perpetual motion or something? You watch this. You want to see something that is really unbelievable. There is not a ball that's touched. I want you to get a load of that. I am glad they put this on. This is worth the price of admission. Does that picture
That's
speak
incredible
for itself?
that he has not hit another ball with a ball.
And it's his first try. Look here.
Well, rack him up in a diamond shape and leave.
He's going to do it at the other end for the audience on the other side so they can see it.
You talking about somebody having fun, I'll tell you.
He just wants to continue and keep on.
Well, I think he ought to continue till he misses one or makes one hit the other one. We're sitting here laughing. I guess I don't know how long he can last without hitting another ball.